stone.
Coming into the round of Daytona, this marks as the halfway point in the season most of the time. This season, not quite halfway, but we might as well be. So we're close to halfway in the championship. Jesse Turner leads over a race on the entire field. Dom Capps second in the points, about 50 points back. Third place on back, over 2 races behind in the championship. That just shows how killer of a season Jesse Turner has had. But he really didn't show very well at Kansas. But he did finish better than some of the drivers. Last 2 weekends, we've had carnage. A lot of wrecks at Kansas and Texas. Some penalties coming out of Kansas for some reckless driving from the Sony Cup Series officials. Put down some heavy penalties on some drivers. However, coming to this race weekend, Jesse Turner, outside the front row, Matthew Rodriguez, the Sony Polo Award winner. Turner, could he find victory lane for the first time this year and extend his point lead on the rest of the field? Or will this be a race where the field will be able to catch up to him in the championship mix? P.J. Williams upset the party at Kansas, led only 2 laps. It was the final 2 laps, and it was the first win for him in many seasons. So that was a big win for him, big win for Athenian. Carson Scott dominated that race, didn't come away with a victory. However, anyone can come away with a victory here at Daytona. We saw it at Talladega with TJ Martin taking home the checkered flag. It was a big win for that Hardee's National Series driver, being the 100th different winner. But last time we were here at Daytona, Dom Capps won the Daytona 500, and if he could win today and sweep the Daytona races, it would be his 6th win of the season. And, man, only one driver has ever won 6 races in a single season, being Eugene Max, season 14. Capps has a chance to tie the record books of most wins. Let's get you down to the start of the race. As they come off turn 4, everyone's heart rate's just beating a little bit more faster than usual. These cars are going to be going at top speed. Nothing these guys aren't used to. 2015, 2016, this was the same package. 220, 230 miles an hour. Rodriguez, an amazing jump on the field. He leads us to the green flag. Down the back straightaway for the first time today, Jesse Turner with the crossover move into turn number 3, looking to lead the first lap of today's race and get them bonus points for leading a lap. Stephen Jenkins, who came very close to winning the Daytona 500, trying to get up alongside of Jesse Turner. Can't quite lead it at the line. We have 200 miles today, 80 laps, so it's going to be an exciting one. Stephen Jenkins going to the lead. However, down the back straightaway, a lead change is about to occur. Ryan Griffin door-to-door with Stephen Jenkins. See the speeds. They're going, well, they're not going as fast as I thought they'd be because the track is really rough. And it's caused these cars to really have to slow down a lot in the corners. 220 through the tri-oval for Ryan Griffin as he leads this big pack around. Jake Bassinger trying to get underneath of him, heading off into turn 1. Griffin slams the door. But this track is really bumpy, just like it was in the Daytona 500. Handling will be an issue as many cars bounce around this racetrack trying to find the best line. Down the back straightaway, Jesse Turner trying to make it 3 wide on Stephen Jenkins. Jesse Turner making an aggressive move to try and get around Jenkins. This is real early in the race. And Rodriguez decides just to peek back in on Stephen Jenkins. He didn't want to go 3 wide just yet. And with these speeds, I wouldn't blame him. Front 5 single file, but Jesse Turner trying to break that up. And Jake Bassinger going to go for the lead himself on Ryan Griffin. But that lead's going to be for short notice. Bassinger won't even get a chance to lead this race at the line and get a bonus point because Cody Lamas is going to take it. But Jesse Turner's got a pretty fast Ford, trying to get his first win of the season. Didn't quite lead it at the line. Lamas got him. But Ryan Acosta, last year's Daytona winner at the July race, trying to upset the party as well. And look at Nick Kierkeles in the 81, having a great run for Blue Flare Motorsports right now as he cracks the top 5. We're hearing that TJ Martin is down a cylinder in the 34 car. He is riding around very slow on the racetrack, and he has lost the main pack. Tough break for our Talladega winner. The field at the front of the pack is starting to get a little strung out. Cody Lamas trying to work his way by Ryan Acosta. Nick Mace trying to make it 3 wide. Can't quite get underneath of Ryan Acosta. The front two have led the last couple laps together. Nick Mace working his way towards the front. But as you can see, everyone's starting to get a little strung out a little bit, trying to get organized. But I can't say enough about Pericles. Matt DeLeo having a good run, replacing Sean Perkins. This is his second race back for Horizon Group. So he's having a fantastic day, but a battle for second is Nick Mace. It slid underneath of Ryan Acosta and shoves him out of line as Mace is in a second position. Some other drivers like Carson Scott trying to work their way to the front. See Bobby Jones trying to work his way to the front as well. These guys, as this package actually looks pretty fun out there, as you can tell, that they're still not as fast as I thought they'd be. It's probably because of the bumps in the track, having these guys having to slow down a lot in the corners. But Turner looks like he's got the best handling car, and he's leading this 42 car pack around. Nick Mace in that 48 Chevy, ever since his win at Road Atlanta, he's been trying to get back to victory lane again for his 30th career win. And he's been looking ever so hard to get underneath of that 17 Ford. Been running as low as he can to try and get underneath of him, but can't quite get down there. Ryan Griffin going to try and take advantage on Nick Mace, and he has Mace's teammate in the 5 right behind him. And there was words exchanged after Kansas between Davis and Mace due to Davis's little contact. Davis was trying to appeal the penalty he got at Kansas, but ended up withholding. He's up in the 3rd position. However, Bassinger right behind him also ran well at this venue in the Daytona 500. Griffin looking underneath of Turner. Can't quite get underneath of him. And Davis looking any way he can. Davis won here in 2016 under the lights. Trying to do it yet again. Needs some help, however, to get by Griffin. And Bassinger trying to go around him on the outside. Carson Scott coulda, woulda, shoulda won at Kansas last weekend, but it wasn't meant to be. He's up in the 4th position by his teammate. Speaking of Kansas last weekend, PJ Williams returning to victory lane for the first time in a long while. It was a big story, news headlines for that 3 team to get back to victory lane for Athenia Motorsports. However, for this race weekend, he is sort of struggling. He had a bad qualifying effort, and he's not shown that much speed. He's down here in 27th position in between Fitzwater and Finn Guy. Dejon Weeks is also sort of off at pace. He's not running as well. And DJ Curtis is another driver in the championship mix that's pretty slow back here, along with Luke Martin. They are really struggling with the handling of their cars right now. However, up front, we got a battle for the lead. Ryan Griffin to the inside of Jesse Turner. And Turner's going to get hung out to dry. You can see that the field is really starting to spread out. You can see single file most of the way through, but everyone's still racing each other really hard. Griffin's now your new leader with Davis up to 2nd, Carson Scott in the 3rd. However, that's not going to last long, as here comes the Mace Enterprises Chevys to the bottom. Davis trying to get some bonus points and lead this race at the line with some help from Nick Mace. And he will. Davis, your new race leader. Oh, but if he wants to hold on to it, he better slam the door, and he does on his teammate of Nick Mace. Gotta wonder how the friendship is between the 5 and the 48, given the contact that they had last weekend. A lot of rivalries came out of that race weekend. A lot of drivers really mad with each other. And the 5 and the 48 the same way. But nearly some 3 wide racing. Cody Lamas trying to get by Matthew Rodriguez, but Rodriguez keeping his foot in it, trying to get back down to the bottom. And Lamas going to keep him there. But Mace for the lead on his teammate of Jordan Davis. And you got lap car TJ Martin's been off the pace most of the race, and Nick Mace to the point and leads for the first time today. But Jesse Turner back to the inside on the 48 of Nick Mace. Jesse Turner has such a good race car. He has yet to win a race all year, and he's got a good enough car that he could possibly take the checkered flag here at Daytona. He's came very close here in the Daytona 500. He's never really been that close in the July race here at Daytona, but he would love to get a checker flag victory here at Daytona National Speedway. But Nick Mace, he hasn't won here in quite some time. Season 13 Daytona 500. Last time we see Nick Mace take the checker flag here. Matthew Rodriguez, a Daytona 500 winner himself, sitting back there in third. A lot of hungry drivers behind him trying to get up there and mix it up. Nick Mace back to the bottom with some help from Ryan Griffin. But Jesse Turner has such a good handling race car. All by himself on the outside trying to keep the race lead. Ryan Griffin kind of not sure who he wants to go with. He's going to go all the way to the bottom by himself. His teammate Matthew Rodriguez looked like he wanted to work with him. And here he is, 3 wide for the lead, Jesse Turner. Nick Mace made a little contact. And Griffin with his teammate Matthew Rodriguez. The Martin Motorsports Fords to the front. Here comes Cody Lamas. He hasn't really had the brightest of days in the last couple of weeks, but he's wanting to make it a firework night here at Daytona, trying to get up here and win this race. He's not won a race in quite some time. California 2016. He's had a long dry spell. Would love to win, but Martin Motorsports has won so many races this season. They're looking to add another victory to their column in 2018. Griffin and Rodriguez trying to hang on, but the 48 Lowe's Chevy back to the inside, trying to claw his way back to the front. Up front, the leaders are going at it. Nick Mace trying to get underneath of the 11 Ford. Man, I am super excited and pumped up about this racing package we have. The non-restricted plate package has allowed some great racing. Rodriguez nearly gave Mace a shot heading off into turn 3. The front 3 cars have broke away. William Brock is up in a 4th position. But you have some fantastic racing. All the cars are starting to pull away and spread out. Jenkins, who came very close to winning the 500 himself, up in a 5th. Young's in here. He's a Daytona 500 victory. And Cody Lamas, Jake Bassinger, Hayden Klein's a lap down. Jesse Turner and Jordan Davis making up the top 10. Just everyone's racing all over this racetrack right now. Bobby Jones is in 16th in this main pack, trying to run them all back down. But I love the racing we're seeing out of our leaders, and it's been fun to watch. Griffin, Mace, Rodriguez, Brock, Jenkins, the top 5. We nearly had a crash right here. Dejon Weeks tried to get low of the lap car, Hayden Klein, but Klein, what a drive to hang on to that race car. Side by side for second, Matthew Rodriguez underneath of Nick Mace. Gonna try and work his way by him. Steven Jenkins with his teammate Dylan Young trying to work their way towards the front. Rodriguez slides right in front of the 48 and takes over the 2nd position. Onboard Steven Jenkins, just watch as they go in the corner. You're going to have to lift heading on the corner. And look at that. Nick Mace and them had to get out of the gas. And Jenkins, such a good super speedway racer, getting on the corner panel of Nick Mace to try and side draft, heading off in the corner. And it slowed Nick Mace's momentum down. And Jenkins is now going to take over that position. And here comes William Brock, trying to make a name for himself here in the 76 Dodge for Horizon Group. What a great run for William Brock in the 4th position, bringing Dylan Young, the Season 10 Daytona 500 champion, with him. But Jenkins looking for more, trying to get by 2nd position of Matthew Rodriguez. Steven Jenkins won this July race in 2015. Has ran very strong here in the past, nearly won the 500 this year. And he's got some good run right now. On the inside, he just needs a little bit of help to try and get alongside and past Rodriguez. But about maybe like a 15 or so breakaway, 14 cars breaking away. Jeffrey Lynn, how about Sean Harple in this mix? Wasn't long ago, he was about 30th contact with Jeffrey Lynn. But they have broke away from Jeffrey Fengai, who was very close to winning the 500 earlier this year. He's worked his way into 17th. Andreas Allen, Fitzwater, Shelley, and Schwallenberg. And there's Curtis also trying to work his way back to the front. But the front 14 cars have broke away. Jenkins is alongside Matthew Rodriguez, not quite. He's needing, contact! Steven Jenkins, Matthew Rodriguez. That's how you have to play it here. A lot of rough driving by Jenkins and Rodriguez. Jenkins knows how much momentum late in the run on these old tires mean. This pack has fell off about 2 seconds from their usual lap times at the start of the race. And Jenkins throws it in there in turn 3 and makes contact with Rodriguez, but he takes the second position. On the bottom, Mace, Weeks, Brock trying to get by Rodriguez and Turner, but that outside line is really rolling right now. Further on back, Bassinger, his teammate Carson Scott, Davis, Caps, Lynn, Harple, all needing to find something to catch this main pack as they continue to pull away. Ryan Griffin, however, has just been holding all the charges off at right now, but this could be the day Stephen Jenkins gets redemption and brings Yamp Motorsports back to victory lane. As the tire wear falls off, you're seeing everyone push up the track. Jeffrey Lynn into the outside wall. He was one of the drivers in that main pack contending for the lead, and Lynn is going to fall into the clutches of the second pack behind him. This pack right here held back on Ryan Griffin to try and take the race lead, but couldn't quite get it done. Rodriguez riding the high side, trying to get a run on the outside to get on the outside of Stephen Jenkins. Jesse Turner trying to fight back. William Brock, Nick Mace, Weeks, and Young all having great runs. These Yamp Motorsports cars are having great runs today, all three of them. Jenkins, Young, and Weeks have a chance to bring Yamp back to victory lane, but they're going to have to go through this man of Ryan Griffin as he continues to lead here at Daytona. Oh, contact! Rodriguez and Nick Mace! Mace spins Rodriguez into William Brock! Caution flag is out for the first time tonight. Oh, and William Brock, where is he on the racetrack? He's on the apron. So it looks as though it may be an innocent two-car wreck down in turn 3. Oh, and Charlie Smith gets involved. Garrett Sidner, Luis Hernandez. Oh, man, but that all started heading off into turn 3. Matthew Rodriguez and Nick Mace. As you can see, heading off into 3. Rodriguez just turns in on Nick Mace and spins himself. Right there was William Brock. And Rodriguez, his chances to win at Daytona are up. And William Brock, not sure what he was doing. He may get a tally for reckless driving as he pulled back up in front of oncoming traffic. Charlie Smith, Garrett Sidner, Luis Hernandez, just very unlucky to be involved in this wreck. But William Brock had no sense in pulling back on the track like he did, but he's going to fall out of the race more than likely, along with some other drivers. And as we look at the race off pit road, Jesse Turner, what a championship team, leapfrogs Ryan Griffin on the pit road to take the race lead. Dejon Weeks will go into 3rd, Mace into 4th, and Bassinger into 5th. And Stephen Jenkins' luck continues to get worse, as on pit road, him and Jordan Davis ran into each other, and this is significantly gonna hurt the 1 and the 5's chances of victory today. As we come back to the green, Jesse Turner is gonna be your new leader. Once again, Ryan Griffin's pit crew cost him something on pit road. He's back to 2nd. Nick Mace is in 3rd like we documented. Green flag once again. And further on back, Stephen Jenkins is off the pace and is holding up some drivers. And everyone's going to have to get after it and try and work their way by the 1 and the 5 as both of them have damage. And this is really going to split up the field. As you can see, the 1, especially the 1, the 5's more better off. But Jenkins, the front of his race car is really hurt, and it's going to hold up a lot of race cars as many drivers are going to be working hard to try and get around them. Matthew Rodriguez is a lap car along with Klein and Martin, and they're kind of slowing off the pace. Front 2 get away. Ryan Griffin trying to get back to the lead. Side by side with Jesse Turner. That 11's pretty quick. Ryan Griffin, pretty quick out there, door to door with the points leader. And heading off into turn 1. Griffin, your new leader. Here comes Jake Bassinger into the picture as well. Moving his way into 2nd. We haven't really talked about Jake Bassinger all day, but here he is in 2nd position right behind Ryan Griffin. Lap car Hayden Klein actually holding his own in this main pack, but Nick Mace and Sean Harple, how about Jeffrey Finguy? This caution really helped him. He's in the mix of this. Charles Sanford, Dylan Schwellenberg, Carson Scott. A lot of drivers who really wasn't up here to begin with, like Curtis, on Allen, and Shelley. They all are right here in the lead pack now. But the front three trying to pull away yet again. But Turner trying to get by his teammate. If they were smart, they would work together to get by the 11 of Ryan Griffin. Griffin looking to win his first race since Kansas of last year. Trying to earn Martin Motorsports another victory. Turner back underneath of the 11. Jeffrey Fenguy getting up here in the mix of this. He was close to winning the Daytona 500 earlier this year. He's in a third position. That 92 Dodge was deep in the pack early in this race, and now he's up here in the mix of this. Charles Sanford, Dylan Schwellenberg, Sean Harple. We haven't really heard these names all day, but here they are in the second half of this race, trying to make a statement, trying to win here at Daytona. Jesse Turner, who's had a really good handling race car, is trying to go up against Ryan Griffin, who's been the best car all day since getting by Turner at the beginning. And Turner peeks out in front with the lead, but the outside is just as strong right now. Door to door, heading off into turn one. The inside looks the strongest, and Turner gets the lead. These guys are getting real racy, trying to find some running room. About 22 cars are in this main pack and in contention to win this race. It's anybody's race. Anyone can win, and drivers like Jeffrey Fenguy, Sean Harple, Dylan Schwellenberg, and even James Shelley and Levi Pascoe trying to work their way up forward are trying to say something about that as well. But Steven Jenkins is going to play in the hands as he is really slow and is going to hold up a bunch of drivers. Griffin, Mace, Harple, everyone trying to dodge to the middle lane. Oh man, and James Shelley going to get held up. A big chunk of cars in the second half of this pack is going to lose the main pack. Steven Jenkins heavily off the pace. Into turn three, Ryan Griffin trying to take the race lead back from Jesse Turner. With a lot of the pack separated, about 12 cars are now in the lead pack into contention to win this one. Fords are the front four, and then you have like 3 Chevys, another Ford and another Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Chevy. That is everyone up here battling for the lead. All the manufacturers. Griffin's going to be a hard driver to pass and these last 25 laps. That 11 car is on rails. But if anyone's going to pass him, I think it could be the 17 or the 48 or maybe the 97. They've been the best cars to run with Ryan Griffin all day. However, Cody Lama, Sean Harple, Levi Pascoe, Dylan Young, we have not heard of these guys really all day up here at the front. What do they have in their to use up here at the end of this race to try and take away? Bassinger looking for a way to get underneath of Griffin. He'll have the momentum enough to get underneath of him, but will he be able to keep the momentum up off turn 2? This is where we see a lot of drivers not be able to keep up with the faster cars. They are 3 wide down the back straightaway for the race lead. Cody Lamas, Jake Bassinger, Ryan Griffin nearly beating and banging. Lamas threw it in there, and here comes Levi Pascoe. Athenian Motorsports wants to go 2 in a row. They have 2 other drivers of Levi Pascoe and Sean Harple in the mix of this, but Griffin all by himself, really holding strong up there, and Lama's going to try and block Griffin, block Bassinger, and block Pascoe. Pascoe slides into Bassinger. Oh man, what a race we got on our hands, boys. 3 wide for second position. Cody Lamas is your new leader. Dom Caps right there. He could get a win. It would be a 6th win if we could do that. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. But Griffin by himself looks like he could try and pass Bassinger. What a car Griffin has. Seemingly all by himself with no help. Is able to just rim ride and be that good. Levi Pascoe into second position. Dom Caps into third. I'm telling you, Ryan Griffin's got one of the best cars. But how about Levi Pascoe going for the lead? Athenian Motorsports won with PJ Williams last weekend. They're wanting to get another victory. This time with Levi Pascoe. Side by side. The 55 Chevy. Oh boy. Dylan Young slid sideways right there into Jeffrey Fenguy. And off turn 4, Levi Pascoe Gonna try and block Cody Lamas, but he needs to shut the door on Dom Caps. But no, here comes Caps. 20 laps to go. Some intense racing at the front with about 12 cars. Dom Caps takes the lead. The leaders are going to run up on some more lap cars. And Bassinger making this big, bold move to the inside might be what helps him. Oh, man, going right by Stephen Jenkins. What a move by all these drivers. Nick Mace and Jesse Turner made contact. Mace trying to get down in front of Harple. And as they try and circle their way by Kyle Collins as well, Bassinger, Dylan Young, Dom Caps the front three. They still have Matthew Rodriguez to deal with. But lap cars, no doubt, will play a factor as all the way back to Ryan Griffin and Cody Lamas, they got held up the worst. Up front, Dom Caps eyeing a 6th win of the season. Would be a big win for him. It'd be his 11th Sony Cup Series victory. And it would tie the history books. He's got help with Dylan Young behind him. Dylan Young could bring a victory back. Oh, Rodriguez, what are you doing, bud? Pulls down in front of Dom Caps. Man, you would think Rodriguez would help his teammate out, but he nearly took him out. And now slides out of the way of Dom Caps. Rodriguez nearly did the same thing to Caps that he did on Mace that got him spun. Caps takes the lead. Dylan Young gonna try and get some run here. Got some clean air there, the 88. Young in the 88 to the inside with help from Jesse Turner. Side by side with Dom Caps. Mace, Harple cuts clear of the lap cars. It's a 5-car breakaway. 3 Fords, 2 Chevys at the front of the field. Dylan Young taking the race lead. Side by side down the back straightaway. Jesse Turner got a runner underneath Young. And they're door to door heading off into turn 3. With 15 laps to go at the line, Turner eyeing a first win of the season with Nick Mace on his back bumper. The Road Atlanta winner is in a second. Young in it back to third. Harple sitting there in fourth. Caps back to fifth. Schwellenberg having a great run today. He had a great run going at Kansas. This team is really turning things around. The rookie having a fantastic rookie year so far. Jeffrey Fenguy up here in the mix of this has a chance at victory. So does Levi Pasco. Sanford and Bassinger are still here. And how about Ryan Griffin trying to fight his way back after losing the draft? He could have a chance. Nick Mace, door to door, trying to take the race lead. Looks as though there might have been a wreck down in turn 3, but there is no yellow. Nick Mace, your new race leader. Here's where all that smoke came from. Dejon Weeks, Carson Scott, Caleb Hoffman made contact. Scott Roush also involved, but they kept it together. No caution. Down the back straightaway, looking 3 wide. Sean Harple, Jesse Turner trying to make a move on Nick Mace. You got to get all you can now because the tires are wearing down. The grip level is fading in this run, and you got to get all you can. Anything the car will take, you got to throw it in there. And Sean Harple for Athenian takes the race lead. 10 laps to go. These front 2 drivers both won the dual qualifiers for the Daytona 500 earlier this year. Just want to throw that out there. Harple and Turner have won here earlier this season. It was in the dual qualifier. But with Turner, most horsepower down the straightaway with more help is going to get the race lead back with Dylan Young, Jeffrey Fenguy, Dom Caps, and Nick Mace in tow. Turner is out front. They're going to have to deal with Stephen Jenkins one last time in that one car. As they come up on him, it'll be about 8 laps to go. Turner, Harple, Fenguy, Young, May, Sanford, Pasco, Caps, Griffin, Bassinger, and Schwellenberg all have a realistic chance. And Turner has to swing it way wide, and a lot of the pack swinging to the outside on Stephen Jenkins. And again, Ryan Griffin gonna get held up. That is just Ryan Griffin's luck. So will Dylan Schwellenberg. So now it looks like it's gonna come down to a 9-car race. 17, 31, 92, 48, 88. The front 5 drivers. We have Dejon Weeks to deal with. And then maybe these cars. Maybe. But we have at least one more to deal with. And Turner's going to run up on him. We're going to see. Maybe it's going to be the same thing. Just swinging around him on the outside. Mace underneath the Finn guy for the third position. Oh, Dejon Weeks swings up in front of these guys and kind of blocks the whole groove. And he's going to hold up his teammate Dylan Young in the process. Oh, and Harple for the lead. What a power move. The Athenian Chevys have really turned their program around in the last couple of races. Harpo nearly won Charlotte. PJ Williams coming off an upset at Kansas. And Sean Harpo out front at Daytona. As we come back to the line, it'll be 5 laps to go for Sean Harpo. We may run up on Scott Roush. One last final lap car to deal with. Jesse Turner with some help from Jeffrey Finguy. Gonna try and go for the race lead. Harpo with a good handling race car on the outside, trying to hang on. But with no friends other than Nick Mace, who is a ways back. It looks as though Turner's gonna get the race lead. But Mace is coming. Turner, Harpo, side by side, heading off into turn 3. We more than likely will run up on Scott Roush as we come to the line. 4 laps of racing to go. Harpo getting kicked back. Jeffrey Finguy moving his way up in a second. He's not won a Sony Cup Series race since season 16, and he's pushing his way forward. In this pack, you have 3 Dodges, 3 Chevys, and 1 Dodge. 3 Fords, 3 Chevys, and 1 Dodge, if I said that wrong. But how about that outside line with Nick Mace? Got a heck of a run and swings around Jeffrey Finguy. And here comes Caps underneath the Finguy himself, trying to take 4th. Can't do it, though. Turner continuing to lead this pack around. As they come back to the line, it'll be 3 to go. Scott Roush, how is he going to play a factor? 7 cars in the mix of this. Oh boy, 3 Chevys right behind Turner. And Harpo ducking out on the inside. Here comes Finguy underneath of Nick Mace. Mace on the outside. Look at Turner on the outside trying to hang on. Scott Roush in the 21 just ahead. Oh boy, this is going to be the big factor of the race. Turner is going to get down in front of the 31, heading off into turn 3. Everyone besides Dom Caps is going to be able to get by Roush without any problem. Coming to the line, it'll be 2 to go. Turner trying to win here at Daytona. Harpo trying to upset and win for Athenian Motorsports for back-to-back weekends. Nick Mace trying to get his 2nd win of the season, trying to get his 30th career victory, but Finguy not willing to work with him. To the inside, looking for his 1st win in many seasons. I don't know if they have anything for Jesse Turner. Turner is just that quick. A lap and a half to go for Jesse Turner here at Daytona. Mace has a run on Sean Harpo. Can't block it though. Mace puts his nose in there. Nick Mace with a heck of a run and a heck of a try to try and win this race as he swings by Sean Harpo and is going to try and target Jesse Turner, but a crossover on Sean Harpo. Side by side for 2nd, just what Jesse Turner's wanting to see. Finguy to the inside. Side by side for 2nd position. Still no challenge at the front for Jesse Turner. Off turn 2. Mace needs to get a heck of a run if he's going to have any shot at Jesse Turner. He's all by himself. Turner versus Mace on this final corner. I don't believe he's going to have enough run off turn 4. Can he do it? Off 4 for the final time. Mace looking for any shot to the inside, trying to draw even with Jesse Turner. To the line. Jesse Turner wins by half a car length. Turner gets his 1st win of the season and holds off Nick Mace, who gave it a big try at the end to try and take the victory. Turner is victorious at Daytona and holds off one of the greatest the series has ever seen of Nick Mace. A great try by Nick Mace, but just comes up short. Sean Harpo 3rd. Great run for him today. That whole entire team has really been doing a heck of a job. Charles Sanford, very, very quiet day for Sanford. Finishes 4th. And finishing inside the top 5, Jeffrey Finguy. But Jesse Turner getting his first win of the season. How about that for Jesse Turner? He had a great car, great handling car all day. But there at the end, he got up there and hung on with all his might. This is going to be his 9th career victory and 1 win away from his 10th career victory in the double-digit win column.